Chapter 1. The Pink Dolphin. Under studio light. We open inside a pristine aquatic lab. White walls, tall windows. A vast warm water tank glows tea-colored under soft overhead light. In the center, a pink river dolphin glides in slow, effortless arcs, its smooth rosé skin catching reflections from the surface like moving glass. Technicians move along the deck with tablets and scanners, tracking health, motion, and skin quality. The dolphin slips under an artificial root structure, then rises, pink body breaking the water in a quiet breath. This isn't a show, it's a reference, a living blueprint for a new lab-grown material that feels like water and skin at once. Chapter 2. A touch, a target, a single sample. A handler kneels at the tank edge and lowers a soft silicone target into the water. The dolphin approaches, clicks and whistles muffled by the warm liquid. It surfaces gently, placing its rostrum against the pad. A clear tube delivers a reward of tiny fish. Breath fogs briefly in the cool air above the tank. Overhead, a linear rail glides a high-resolution imaging rig along the dolphin's back. Structured light ripples across its pink skin. Cameras capture every pore, faint vein, and tiny scar pattern in shimmering detail. On a nearby monitor, a 3D model spins into view. The rounded head, the curved flank, the fine, slightly rubbery texture. A simple line appears. All skins shown are lab-grown, no animals harmed. Later, in a quiet adjacent bay, the dolphin floats calmly in a padded side pen, loosely supported by a soft harness. A veterinarian lifts a small fold of skin near the dorsal area, inserts a microbiopsy tool, and removes a tiny piece of tissue. The dolphin barely twitches. The sample drops into a vial labeled Pink Dolphin Derm Boto Ref 01. Boom. One respectful moment. Enough information for an entire factory. Chapter 3. Growing a new kind of skin in a cool blue-lit tissue culture lab. Robotic pipettes move with steady precision. Dolphin dermal cells are dispensed onto micro-patterned bioscaffolds that recreate the layered structure of aquatic mammal skin. Under a microscope, time accelerates. Cells divide, branch, and organize into layered networks. Pigment cells drift into place, forming soft gradients from pale blush to saturated pink. Each scaffold becomes a tiny, growing hypothesis. How should dolphin skin behave when it's no longer part of a dolphin? We pull back into a tall bioreactor hall. Cylindrical glass vessels glow with amber and rose light. Inside them, broad sheets of lab-grown pink dolphin skin slowly thicken. Fibers and microstructures align under gentle circulating currents, like currents shaping sandbars. The factory is not recreating an animal, it's recreating what the animal's skin can do.
I think the ergonomic seating design is strong, but let's look at the material options.
Chapter 4. From wet sheet to responsive surface. A manifold seals onto one reactor with a hiss. An internal drum rises, lifting a continuous, pale pink sheet from the nutrient bath. Water runs off in smooth, silky rivers, revealing a fine, rubber satin grain. Technicians guide the sheet onto titanium rollers. It whispers against the metal, leaving shimmering trails of water as it goes. The underside is faintly textured, suede-like, dotted with micropores for breathability and lamination. In a conditioning bay, the skin glides into a clear tank of bio-based finishing solution. Gentle flows deepen the color from soft blush to river rose, rich, yet still translucent, like light seen through shallow water. Emerging, droplets cling and refract strip lights into bright ribbons before slipping away, leaving a sleek, seamless surface with a wet satin sheen. The sheet moves into a drying tunnel where warm, filtered air flows over it in waves. Mechanical arms stretch and relax the edges in gentle pulses, training the material to flex and recover without fatigue. Edge strips are cut and flex tested. Microphones capture barely more than a low and elastic murmur. Under a task lamp, a quality engineer folds a strip over a polished rod. The pink surface lightens for a heartbeat, then returns to its original shade, smooth and unmarked. The skin is no longer just grown, it's disciplined.
Flex and skin compresses under weight, then eases back. No cracking or delamination of
Chapter 5. Light, temperature, and color. That listens in a light response bay. Panels of dolphin skin hang in a darkened room. Programmable LEDs wash over them. Warm yellow, cool blue, emerald reflections. Embedded pigment cells respond with delicate shifts, colors blooming and fading in gradients, never garish, always soft. Next, a thermal rig introduces gentle temperature changes. As the panels cool, they drift toward deeper, mauve-tinged pinks. As they warm, they brighten into airy, pastel blush. Every shift is plotted on a live graph, each panel gaining its own responsiveness profile. On a designer's tablet, the same material appears as digital swatches with names like River Dawn, City Neon, and Deep Current. Simulated jackets and bags adapt in real time to changing environments on screen. This is skin that listens to light and heat, designed to speak in color instead of words. Chapter 6. Mapping the flow into forms. In the pattern room, a central projection table shows outlines of dolphin anatomy alongside sleek garment silhouettes. A lead designer traces futuristic jackets, fluid dresses, compact bags, gloves, and furniture panels along natural stretch lines. Ceiling projectors cast soft blue guides onto a full pink sheet laid across a vacuum-held cutting bed. Larger body pieces are placed in the most uniform regions. Smaller components nest along the edges. An automated cutting head with a water-lubricated blade follows the guides in a muted hiss. The knife glides through the material, leaving rounded corners and perfectly smooth edges. Pieces move onto conveyors. Long front panels, high-stretch sleeves, sculpted dress sections, structured bag panels, and curved shells for seating. Everything is placed so the skin can keep doing what it does best. Flow. Chapter 7. Smart Skins and Human Hands. In the Sensor Integration Lab, flexible pressure and motion grids lie beside selected dolphin panels. Fine silver traces mimic the arcs of the human back and shoulders. A low-heat press bonds these meshes to the undersides of jacket panels. When they emerge, the surfaces look unchanged, still pink, still pristine, but now carry invisible nervous systems inside. On a torso dummy, a technician taps across one of these panels. A nearby screen blooms with pulses of light, mapping contact points and movement paths. Elsewhere in the lab, a thin dolphin skin stretches over a frame as part of an acoustic experiment. Low-frequency pulses vibrate through it, showing how this material can shape sound, damping some frequencies, singing with others, like a living membrane repurposed for architecture. On the assembly floor, artisans sit at industrial sewing machines and dressmaking tables. Jackets are stitched along long, sweeping seams. Collars are molded around warm wooden forms to sit close to the neck like gentle waves. Sleeves are eased into armholes so the garment feels like one continuous surface. Bias-cut panels become dresses that move around the body like water. Thinner cuts are turned into gloves that feel like a second skin, warm and responsive. Structured bag shells are wrapped in dolphin skin, pressed smooth until they resemble frozen ripples from a river. Lounge chairs are upholstered in pink, stretched tight until they look like calm, still water. Machines do the heavy work. Hands decide what feels right. Chapter 8. Trials, Stress, and Circular Design. In a stress testing room, a finished pink dolphin jacket is strapped onto a torsion rig. Robotic arms twist, bend, and stretch it through exaggerated motions. On a monitor, graphs of strain and recovery trace across the screen. The dolphin material line stays stable, well below the warning thresholds where lesser synthetics spike. Nearby, bags swing from mechanical arms, handles flexing and relaxing again and again. Climate chambers swing humidity and temperature from tropical heat to cool interiors. Immersion tanks submerge panels and garments in water. When they re-emerge, beads roll off the surface, seams intact, edges relaxed and calm. Movement labs put garments on dancers who move as if underwater. Thermal cameras overlay heat maps, verifying that the material breathes and insulates rather than suffocates. In the circularity hub, offcuts drop directly into color-coded bins. Scraps are ground and compressed into composite sheets for accessories, reinforcements, and non-slip flooring inspired by river stones. Nothing is thrown away. Everything is rerouted. Microscopes in the analysis lab compare legacy marine materials to lab-grown dolphin skin. Uniform fibers, no scars, fewer stress points. Sustainability boards show the difference. Less damage to rivers, less extraction, less waste. The factory doesn't just make products. It redesigns consequences. So, Chapter 9. Brand, Touch, and First Contact. In the branding suite, finished jackets, dresses, gloves, bags, and furniture pieces rest on minimal pedestals under careful spotlights. The palette is a quiet symphony of pinks, blush, rose, coral, dusk. On a large screen, a minimal river curve merges with a stylized dorsal outline and resolves into the title. Inside the Pink Dolphin Factory, packaging is matte white with pink embossed logos. Inside, recycled pulp cradles garments. Care booklets explain how to clean, condition, repair, and renew each piece, emphasizing traceable, lab-grown origins and the option to bring items back rather than replace them. A test subject puts on a finished jacket. It settles over their shoulders like a thin layer of warm water. When they move, seams glide instead of catching. A nearby tablet displays live pressure and posture maps, confirming that weight is distributed gently, without hard spots at the shoulders or collarbones. Under different lights, the jacket gently shifts tone, brighter in warm light, cooler under blue, glowing softly in neon. A bag is passed from hand to hand. Each touch leaves a faint, darkened trace that quickly fades as the material recovers. The first impression is visual. The second is tactile. The third is emotional. Chapter 10. Repair, Memory, and Feedback. In a quiet repair studio, well-traveled dolphin pieces come home. Technicians examine scuffed cuffs, worn hems, slightly dulled panels under bright lamps. A soft, damp cloth lifts city dust in slow shrunk. Circular motions, conditioner, massaged in with fingertips, deepens color and restores suppleness. If a panel must be replaced, an archive twin is carefully stitched and pressed until the repair disappears into the grain. On a tablet, the digital record updates. Original batch ID, used, repairs, refresh cycles. Every jacket, bag, or glove has a life story, not just a purchase date. In an analytics room nearby, Anonymized data from smart dolphin garments flows across large screens. Movement patterns, climates encountered, temperature ranges. Designers and engineers watch from a glass-walled meeting room overlooking the bioreactors, sketching new concepts, marine rescue suits, sound sculpting interiors, activewear that feels like water and thinks like a second nervous system. The more these products are worn, the smarter the next generation becomes. Chapter 11: The Factory as a River System. From above, the Pink Dolphin Factory looks less like a building and more like a river system. One wing holds the tank where the real pink river dolphin swims under tea-colored water and artificial roots. Another holds the tissue culture labs and glowing bioreactors. Beyond that, cutting rooms, assembly floors, testing wings, repair studios, archives, and analytics hubs. On a corridor whiteboard, a simple icon floats in the center, a dolphin silhouette. Around it, arrows labeled care, grow, shape, test, use, renew. Outside, time-lapse shows mist lifting off the nearby river, daylight crossing the building, rain falling, night settling in. Inside, pink material flows steadily from stage to stage, while water and energy loop back through treatment, monitored on a central schematic, soft pink lines for skin, cool blue for resources. The factory doesn't dam the river, it learns from it. Chapter 12: Tribute to the Living Dolphin. We return to where it started. The pink river dolphin glides through its warm tank, weaving between root-like structures. It rises, breaks the surface with a soft exhale, and for a moment its eye faces the viewing window. A child on a guided tour presses their hands and face to the glass, tracking the pink body as it passes. The dolphin drifts close, then turns away, fading into the brown-gold water, leaving only ripples and bubbles behind. A display nearby animates the journey from that tiny biopsy to whole families of products. Skins grown, cut, assembled, worn, repaired, and eventually recycled, all starting from one respectful touch. The camera moves closer to the dolphin's side, filling the frame with living pink skin, subtle veins, tiny scars, shifting tones under filtered light. Then it dissolves into a jacket sleeve, lab-grown dolphin skin, grain and color, carefully aligned to echo, not take. For a heartbeat, both images coexist, the living dolphin and the crafted surface, origin and homage in the same breath. Then only the garment remains, turning slowly in a dark void under a narrow beam of light. We hear faintly the hum of reactors, the hiss of blades, the rhythm of sewing machines, the soft whisper of cloth on skin folded into a single quiet exhale. A simple line appears. Inside the Pink Dolphin Factory, from dolphin skin to luxury goods. The text fades. The jacket slows until one shoulder and sleeve face us. Pink surface calm and inviting, as if offering the memory of water on your hand. The image holds, then dissolves into black, leaving only the echo of water, soft machinery, and material that feels almost alive. And the understanding that somewhere inside the Pink Dolphin Factory, new skins are already beginning to grow.